Hello, dear friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, I'm having some information to share with you. So, last week, and I would say from 18th to 24th of September, I was playing International Open tournament in Japan, and you can see the starting list of participants. Yes, I was the highest rated. And then we see another three grandmasters: Paul Weltan, Susanto Megaranto from Indonesia, Indonesia's number two player, and Mishra Swayams. And then we see South Korea's number one player, and then Japanese number one player. And here we see Hafiz, international master from Indonesia, and then Japanese number two, Japanese number three, number four, and even if I'm not mistaken, number five player. Yes, 9 rounds. Time control was 90 minutes plus 30 seconds from the start of the game. So no any additional time, no any increment after 40 moves. Yes. From round 1 to round 8, we had double rounds. Only last round we had single round, and it was classical tournament. Let's see some of the games. Yes, my first round opponent was Yamada 2186 from Japan and number 7 in Japan. So I decided to start the game, to open the game with d2 d4, and now c4, knight f3. Of course, I was not expecting, because I didn't have much time to preparing it against my opponent. So knight d7 is very flexible move, very much possible move, and quite a challenging one. White is choosing between c takes d, and now bishop g5 is very much possible. Bishop f4 is possible. You can go bishop f4 here in this position. Very long time this bishop f4 was considered the main continuation. Black is usually going d takes c, and now e3, and now knight b6 is very much possible move. b5 move is very much possible, and bishop d6 as well. So I played queen c2, waiting move, and yes, here if you take d takes c, then e4 is coming. Of course, line goes like e4, c5, and here d takes c or d5. No, d5 isn't really working, but the refutation is quite difficult for opponent. And d5, he takes this the best. Yes, you go e5, and now something like yes, knight captures, and then bishop d6, which is not the easiest, of course. c6 move is also possible. Bishop b4, d takes c. My opponent plays c5. You can see the best move. I captured on d5, and here he takes d. Huge inaccuracy by my opponent. Knight d5 is the best move. White is usually taking on d5. He takes d, and here some moves are possible, like e3, g3. Even I remember another move, which is bishop g5. So my opponent took e takes d, and this is already a better position, opening advantage for me, for white. And I could go bishop f4 with the typical ideas to go e3, and I chose the second best move. I went g3. The computer, um, yes, computer gives almost equal advantage after bishop f4 and after g3. So g3, yes, we see that white is already better. Computer says the best would have been for black to capture on d4, and after knight takes, bishop is coming to c5. So it was bishop e7, I played bishop g2, and now short castle, short castle. Uh, yes, already white is much better, and here b6. And this is the first position where I really uh, spend a lot of time, and we can see that different moves are possible. The best one is to capture on c5, and because other moves are more or less very similar to each other, but d takes c is um, d takes c has some uh, some other very concrete ideas behind. Yes, you take d takes c, of course, black should capture with the b pawn, and now rook d1, attacking the pawn on d5. And if something like knight b6, computer says you can go a4 with the ideas to go a5, and after black plays a5, something like bishop f4. Yes, of course, I saw this d takes c, b takes c, and rook d1, but I didn't play because of this d4. But now knight takes d4, c takes d, bishop captures the rook. Of course, d4 takes c3, and now queen takes c3. And this is much better position for white, which is not very obvious even now after um, seeing and checking with the engine. Queen b6 is the best, bishop e3 is coming, bishop c5 you capture, and then bishop is coming back to f3. Probably you slowly start advancing your b and a pawns. So here I remember I was thinking very long time about this knight g5. Now I'm threatening to capture on d5 with the knight, with the bishop. And let's say if you go h6, then knight d5 is almost finishing the game. Yes, knight d5. You cannot really capture on d5 because of queen h7 checkmate. And now I'm just capturing, yes, your bishop, and then bishop a8 is coming and finishing the game. But here I didn't play this because of the c takes d. Knight d5, and now bishop a6. Only because of this I didn't play. And now doesn't matter how I'm capturing the exchange. Knight e7, queen e7, bishop a8, or knight f6, bishop a8. Black is having enough compensation. Let's say this. Yes, you take, I take, and e2 is hanging. And if you go knight f6, just knight takes f6, bishop takes a8, queen a8, and black is even having slightly preferable position. So I did not play knight g5 because of c takes d, but I was really spending a lot of time on this knight g5 move. Eventually I played bishop f4. Yes, bishop b7, of course. I brought the rook to d1. I was not sure because I also considered placing f rook on d1 and the other rook on c1. Uh, because after placing my a rook on d1, I was not sure about the future of f1 rook. So eventually I played this, rook c8, and now queen b1. Computer likes capturing on c5, and what's the point? If b takes c is coming, then we go knight h4. Yes, knight h4 with the ideas to go knight f5. But here after d takes c, computer gives knight takes c5 with the ideas maybe to jump knight e4, and now something like bishop h3 or knight g5. White is having some pressure. I played queen b1. Yes, just avoiding this unpleasant um, pin along c file, rook e8. Yes, black is preparing some knight f8 ideas, typical ideas. And I played rook e1, which is very much possible. I was thinking about to play knight h4 here, but I did not. Yes, I did not see this knight h5, but I didn't play because of some c takes d. Yes, rook e1. Yes, h6 is very much possible. Knight f8. Maybe not the best move, but still possible. And here I saw the c4. I saw this e4 move. Even I saw this d takes c, b takes c, knight takes d5. And here knight d5, e4 is coming, bishop d5. Because now e4, yes, e4, knight takes e4 is coming. Computer says knight e5, and white is not worse. I also saw this with the ideas to capture on d5, to push e5. And the point is being d takes c is coming. And along d file, opponent is really facing some difficulties. Yes, it takes rook d8. Oh, eventually I remember I did not play e4 because of knight e6. And now computer shows the c5. Now knight goes d7. This I did not like, but computer says much better position for white. Yes, e4 was working. I did not play it. I played bishop e5. Queen d7, another good move by my opponent. And this is slightly preferable position for white. You can go some a3, you can go some e3, you can go h4, you can even capture on f6. I played knight h4. Dubious move, a bad move. And my idea is to go knight f5, and I was already very much happy about my position. I thought maybe I'm forcing g6, and after g6 always I can retreat, and opponent is just exposing kingside, but I completely forgot about knight e4 because all the time I was ready to see knight e4 because I could take and then d takes c. With the queen on d8, the opponent was facing a lot of difficulties, but here queen just comes to e6 and now my bishop is hanging all the time. Bishop h4 ideas are there, or just capturing on c5 or even going g5. So here, as you can see, black is having much better position. So that's why after 94, I didn't see anything better. I also saw this capturing, let's say captures, not taking on c5, going this, bishop e4, queen takes e4, and now something like f6, bishop does not have many squares, and then g5 is coming. Maybe I'm not losing the game, but I'm of course having bad position. So I played knight f3, basically wasting two tempos, going knight h4 and knight f3. Black is already having excellent position, much better position, just knight g6. Again, knight e4 is not really working because of d takes c, d takes e. I'm not sure why my opponent captured on c3, because this is once again white is okay with some different ideas. Black can capture on d4, black can push c4. Yes, knight g6, a very much possible move, and here d takes c. And now some concrete uh, calculations are required. Because how do you capture on c5? You have bit c, which is the most straightforward. You are not really ready to capture with the rook or with the bishop because white has this d4 square for the pieces. Though computer says bishop c5 or rook c5, like is not having any problems, any issues. During the game, I was thinking about bit c, and here, yes, e4, I saw that f6 is coming. And now bishop f4 captures. Now I'm having ideas to capture on d5, but still, bishop c6 or bishop d6, black is okay. My idea, honestly speaking, was to play bishop h3, very rare tactical idea, takes, and now I'm threatening rook d5 or queen takes d5. Now computer is saying knight e5, queen goes back to e6. I can capture this pawn with the queen or with the rook, but in both cases, bishop f6 is coming and black is having enough activity. Honestly speaking, here during the game, I was more scared of this. Yes, bishop f4 first captures with the check, and now bishop f4. Bishop does not have any better squares. Bishop d6, rook e to d8 is finishing the game. I'm losing my bishop on d6. So bishop f6, knight captures on f4. G takes f, queen g4, check is coming. We go king h1. You capture this pawn on f4. And during the game, I was thinking that this position can be slightly preferable for me, at least from a practical point of view. Yes, computer says, of course, nothing. Yes, my opponent here, he started collapsing. He went 95, already very bad move. Yes, knight takes e5, queen e6 would have been better. He played queen c7. And now I'm having different options, knight d3. Even computer says knight d3 with the ideas to go knight f4, and you are slowly capturing this pawn. Yes, I played c6, and my opponent captured. Bishop a8 is the best. I remember I saw this move. I was planning to go knight f7. And if king f7, I think queen h7 or bishop d5 is finishing the game, of course. But something like bishop c6, we go e4, and this is very complicated, though computer says white is having advantage. I also could take bishop d5. I didn't play this because of queen e5, bishop b7, rook takes c5. Computer says it is better for black to capture on d5 and then to capture bishop c5. Still white has advantage, but it's not enough. So c6, bishop c6, I captured on c6. And here, I think very classy move. A very long time I was trying to make bishop d5 work, but now queen c3 and rook d3 looks very tempting with ideas to go rook f3, but something like queen c2. I was also not sure what if queen e5. The computer says queen b3. Now queen c2 is the best. White is better, but it's better, of course, to keep the pawn, to save the pawn, and slowly collect pawn on d5. Queen f6, threatening rook takes c3, queen b3. Computer also likes queen b2 for some reason. Bishop c5, attacking the pawn on f2, e3. I saw this move, c takes d4, captures, captures, e takes d does not work. If you go rook d4, then queen d4, tactical idea works, and this is not worse for black at all. Yeah, rook c1, and then you go king g2, rook takes f1. And yes, computer is saying that slowly black will mobilize, consolidate the forces, and get some equality. But of course, here I'm not forced to capture with the rook, like rook e to d1, bishop c5, rook d7, and once again, white is better because of my very active bishop. Some targets are there, pawn on f7, pawn on a7. Yes, and black's king is much more vulnerable. So it was rook e5. I already could capture with the bishop. I went rook d1. He played h5. And yes, here I was thinking about h4 to go, to not let any h4. But then I don't know why I decided to capture. Not the best move. Computer is showing like fourth best. So takes, queen takes, pawn on h5 is hanging. And now g6 or h4. Computer likes more g6 move. Yes, h4. Let me remind you that here already we did not have much time. We had maybe less than 2 minutes and no any increment after 40 moves. Yes, queen d7, but I was not sure. I just played c4. And now a5 is the best. But I think my opponent went completely wrong trying to activate the queen and trying to go after my a2 pawn. Yes, and just abandoning king side. So this queen f5 attacking the rook and slightly activating queen's position and now capturing g takes h. Seems very strange. We are ruining our structure, but we are winning this important pawn, and also our pawn from h4 very soon will join our attack. So it was queen takes h5, threatening bishop e4. White is completely winning. My opponent continued capturing bishop e4. I'm ready to go bishop queen h7 checkmate. g6 I just capture, and now bishop d5 is also finishing the game. But I played this, and now taking under control e7 square by placing the rook on d7, and my opponent resigned. Yes, thank you very much, dear friends. Hope you liked this game. Of course, the way I played, especially this knight h4 and then knight f3, I don't recommend much, but maybe some of the decisions can be very instructive and very useful for you. You can benefit, you can learn, you can open something new for you. And please leave a comment, and thank you very much.